we have a famous party that is pretty exciting, very original and pretty, very idealistic. The whole thing is, now it's 2 days. We expanded it to 2 days. It was only 1 day in Park City, but now it's 2 days in Asbury Park, New Jersey. You go to www.tromadance.com, and you can. The deadline for submitting your movie has just been extended to March 15th, so that's good news. And there's also Troma puts up most of the money, but we require that our fans help out. So there's a small Kickstarter. Every year our fans contribute, $10 or something and there's a small piece of the budget. We're asking our fans to contribute $4,000 toward the budget of Troma Dance this year. And they're pretty close. They've gotten, I think we have until March 1st to get there. I think we're at 2,700 or something.
Yeah, no. I actually saw the Kickstarter page just the other day when I was checking on the HorrorQuest Indiegogo thing. So.
Are you guys raising money?
Yeah, we're trying to. We're still, this is going to be our second year. So
well, in our case, I put something up on Sunday that if the fans don't want to, if they rather go see Gray instead of supporting Troma Dance, then there's no reason to have Troma Dance, and we'll close it down because it's a shitload of work, and it's not, I'd rather be making a movie or writing a book. I don't need to masturbate creating Troma Dance if nobody's interested. So if we don't hit $4,000, I'm giving back the sponsor money. I'll give back G4's money and whatever, and we'll go on our merry way because it means nobody's interested.
Well, that's why if you are listening, definitely go. If you are listening right now, definitely go support. Troma Dance. There's no
stress. There's no, if there is no need for Troma Dance after 13 years, maybe it's there are too many. Maybe there is no need for a festival that's all free. And maybe it's not what people would rather go and see the Tree of Life and Gray and 1010 and no problem.
I think that the real problem here is that people with taste are dwindling quickly. I don't think it's that there's not a need for it. We're just really hard to find.
Say that again.
Don't say stuff like that, Lloyd. You're scaring Tiffany.
say stuff like what?
Oh, there's no need for free festivals because HorrorQuest is free as well. So
well, if the fans don't want to support it, if they can't come up with $10 donations, I mean, I've got 1,100. What do I have? 10,000 people on Twitter, and Troma's probably got another 50,000 floating around Facebooks and whatever. If they can't come up with $5-10 to get to $4,000, then it's not on their radar. They're not interested.
Yeah.
At least in Troma Dance, maybe HorrorQuest, okay, but obviously not after 13 years. If they're not interested in putting up $4,000, then it's not. They'd rather go see Gray. In my head, I'd rather take the money instead of going to see Gray. I would put $10 into Troma Dance, but that's me. That's as you make also. But obviously, not enough people yet. We have a month to go. We're at 2,700, and the point is, I put this stuff out on Sunday, and actually there was a surge in contributions, for which I am grateful. But it's a hell of a lot of work and a lot of stress, and I've got to. I'm not on the committee that selects the movies, but I'm the one that has to go and blow the media to get a little publicity here and there. I'm not the one that selects the movies, but I've got to go and run around to the sponsors and blow them and all that stuff. I don't enjoy it, and if nobody wants this, I'm happy to forget it. No problem. We got, we did it for 13 years, and we did it for 12 years, and maybe that's enough.
But let's do be fair to the movie The Gray, because I have heard that Liam Neeson has a huge cock. So.
Well, no, I'm sure it's a fine movie, but I shouldn't be picking on it. It's just that it happened to open last weekend. I'm sure it's really good, and actually, I hear it is really good. But so what? So, wait till watch it on Pirate Bay and give $10 to Troma. Again, I don't care. I really don't care if we don't make it to the $4,000. Fine, we skip it. It'll be a tremendous burden off my shoulders. I'll be able to work on my next movie and not have this thing to drag me down.
Speaking of doing movies and stuff like that, before we because we're about to run out of time with you, so what is kind of what would you hope is the future of trauma, and like what do you think might actually happen to because as horrible as it sounds, nobody lives forever. So what do you think after you're gone, and Michael Hertz is gone, what do you think will be what do you think will happen to trauma? Do you think that it'll carry on, or do you think it might get bought up by like a major studio? And
I have no idea, but for our we're going into our 40th year, and we just took an ad in Rue Morgue magazine where we have a new director's series which is Father's Day. Father's Day opens in New York February 10th. Father's Day is an amazing trauma movie by a film cooperative named Astron 6. They're terrific. They're so talented. And
I've been waiting for this movie for like 2.5 years.
Where are you based? Where are you based?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. Well, I'm sure at some point we'll get a theater there, but we've booked about 100 theaters so far, and it opens New York February 10th at the Sunshine. Father's Day will be in L.A. at the New Art on the 24th. I think it's only weekend bookings or whatever, but it was just selling. It sold out in Houston. I was in 3 Texas cities: Houston, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, and it sold out in all the in the shows I was at. Although I guess a lot of people showed up because I was there in person. But it's a really great movie. And then we've got the Taint. The Taint. Are you familiar with that, Tiffany?
I'm not, but I am now.
And that is made in Virginia, an amazing movie that debuted in Trauma Dance, but we bought the rights to distribute. It's about misogyny, and it's incredible. And then Travis Campbell, who's our supervising editor, wrote and directed the heavy metal murder musical Mr. Bricks. So these are young, new director series of trauma, and so that sort of reflects the future. We just, as I say, I just saw the mock-up of a full-page ad in Rue Morgue magazine. But these 3 movies are pretty amazing, and this summer I'm going to direct something. It'll either be Toxie 5 or some form of Class of Nukem High. They're both moving along, and whichever one is finished first, where I like it, whichever script is kind of inspires me more by the time spring comes, I will commit. I'm not sure which one, but it'll be one of those. Either Class of Nukem High or Toxie.
Are y'all possibly going to do, because I would think maybe even, if you were going to do Toxie, were y'all thinking about maybe doing like an Indiegogo or Kickstarter to fund?
I don't think so, because we need $500,000, so I can't imagine.
Oh, okay.
That would be, I don't think that'd be fair to ask the fans. But for Trauma Dance, it's just that it's fan driven. And if the fans don't want it, if they don't need it, if they don't need Trauma Dance, maybe there's something else they do need. Maybe I should write another book or whatever. But it's not a big amount for 50. Let's say we have 50,000 active fans on our various sites. Come on, $4,000. That's like $5 a piece. No, it's like $1 a piece. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not even $1. It's if 1,000 people, if 1,000 people give $10, it's ridiculous. You go look at our Kickstarters. Like 20 people have given money. It's pathetic. And I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm just saying that clearly this is not something that the trauma fans feel they need, or the filmmaking community. Maybe they just don't need it. And if they needed it, I would guess that $4,000 would. It's just the budget's $30,000 maybe, and if our fans are not interested, then why waste our time?
Yeah, exactly. Well, again, I don't think it's something that's not needed. I mean, just from looking at, HorrorQuest already this year, we've gotten in tons of submissions, and we've, only been open submissions for, 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, maybe HorrorQuest is a lot more interesting than Trauma Dance. I don't know, but I'm not going to waste my time. I'll be dead soon. I've got one foot in the grave, so I've got a limited time. So if people are not interested in Trauma Dance, then fuck it. Who needs it, right?
Exactly.
I like making movies. I don't care if anyone's interested in my movies because I like making them. So if nobody shows up, no problem. If I'm blacklisted, no problem. I just keep doing it because I like it. But I do not like running a fucking film festival. I don't like that. I do it for the fans. I do it for society, and I do it to. Originally, I did it to poke a finger in Sundance's eye, but the poking the finger in Sundance's eye is no. I don't need to do that anymore. I think they've cleaned up their act a bit, and Trauma Dance started to be taken seriously as a film festival. So we've moved it. But if the fans and the filmmaking community isn't able to come up with a modest contribution toward the festival, it means that there is no need for that particular festival. So fine, I go home and I make a movie or write a book or masturbate. I don't know, but I do not enjoy running a film festival. It's terribly stressful, and all our employees have to work for free, and they have to go out and all share. There's no budget, so everybody has to sleep in the same room, and it's not fun. It's a hard work, and it's very idealistic, and it's a wonderful experience. But if people aren't really interested, then we just we're sort of, it's a tree falling in the woods. Nobody's going to hear it, so who needs it?
Are you paying attention, Tiffany? He said work for free.
Look, I already told you that I would work full-time for this for free, so don't you give me any shit, Joe.
Yeah, Joe, come on.
Before we let you go, Lloyd, do you want to give everybody some websites or some stuff where they can follow you and Trauma and stuff like that?
Well, Trauma Dance is traumadance.com, www.traumadance.com. www.trauma.com has got information. And then the fan site, lloydkaufman.com, which I closed down, by the way, for SOPA, to protest SOPA. We closed. In fact, I made a mistake. I closed it a day early, so I actually was closed for 2 days. Nobody gave a shit, but what the hell? I did it.
Nobody noticed.
So I think the key is if you notice that Father's Day is playing, check it out. If anyone's listening who lives in New York, come down February 10th. I'll be at the movie theater, Sunshine Cinemas, for the opening on February 10th at 11:30. I'll introduce and do a Q&A, and we'll sign autographs and whatever. And hopefully we'll bring in some of the directors from Astron 6. I don't know what their schedule is yet, but we're trying. And I think you will see a really great movie. Father's Day is fantastic. And then Mr. Bricks next up, and then The Taint. Tiffany, what about The Taint?
Would you like to talk on The Taint?
Yeah. What do you think?
I think your taint.
Oh, well, we don't, look, it's been like 3 times already that I've talked about the hotline. We'll talk about it later. I can't talk about my genitalia on a horror podcast. It just doesn't, I'm just not comfortable with it.
I was talking about the movie, The Taint.
Oh.
I know.
How dare you, Tiffany?
No, I am excruciatingly excited about all 3, and as far as the New York playing of Father's Day goes, if anybody is listening in New York, you have to go, at least on my behalf, because there's no question that I would be there if I could be. And as far as the other 2 go, my ears and eyes are open for any opportunity I have to see it play anywhere other than my living room, because I feel like they probably deserve it. I'm very excited.
Well, you're very articulate, and I believe that the Plaza in Atlanta either has booked the Father's Day or will book. I think it's playing at the Plaza. I'm not sure yet because that's what.
If it is, that would be even lovely because the Plaza is an amazing theater.
Oh yeah, I've been there. I really like it. I also like Starlight Drive-In. Do you ever go there and smoke pot? I mean, do you ever go there and see movies?
I haven't been, but I need to and do both actually.
Starlight's fun because during the summer people have barbecues and parties and then they show these wonderful movies at in the drive-in. It's a drive-in. It's really cool.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know we had a drive-in in the greater Atlanta area, so thank you, Lloyd.
It's really cool, Tiffany. And do you go to Dragon Con? Because Troma, of course, has a big presence at Dragon Con for...
Yes, Mr. Kaufman. I met you at Dragon Con this past year, actually.
Oh. That's wonderful.
Yes, indeed.
Was I sober?
Probably not.
Well,
but I wasn't either, so...
We'll have a good conversation next year. And thank you so much for having me on your show. And
of course.
Joseph, we'll all meet at Comic-Con this year.
Exactly. So, guys, definitely check out Troma, www.troma.com, and we'll definitely put up some tweets and stuff as soon as we can on where you can see, Father's Day and stuff like that. And also,
there's a website, too. I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's...
go ahead.
I think it's called FathersDayTheMovie.com.
Mm-hmm.
And if you Google Father's Day, there is a website that has the play dates. And so far we've booked about 100, but most of them are like weekends or midnights, or you got to be fast. But they're really good theaters, like the Plaza and the Sunshine, and the beautiful theaters. New Art in L.A. on the 24th is terrific.
Well, come see us at the Plaza, Lloyd.
I would love that. Tell the Plaza to invite me. I'll come down.
I'm speaking on behalf of the Plaza. You are more than invited.
Well, but they have to pay my transportation, all that kind of stuff.
All right, I'll get them to do that.
Very poor, but I wouldn't charge them as a fee or anything. I'd do it for free. Come down.
We'll see what we can do.
Do the thing.
You
guys, HorrorQuest could be the host, and then we do a Q&A and have a whole independent evening. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Sounds lovely.
Don't do it during Dragon Con. I can't do it during Dragon Con because I get paid gigs usually in the evenings. So, but any other time but Dragon Con, I'd love to do it. It'd be great.
Well, HorrorQuest is in October, so
cool.
If you have time in October, maybe we'll try to book you this year for HorrorQuest. See if we can get you down for HorrorQuest, or maybe something at the Plaza.
Terrific. All righty. Well,
but anyway,
thanks a lot.
Yeah, man, thanks for coming on again. So,
well, thanks, Tiffany, and thank you, Joseph, and good luck with HorrorQuest.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Toxie loves you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. So, anyway, guys, did you have fun, Tiffany? Tiffany. Oh, everybody hung up. So, anyway, I'm all alone. I don't like it, you guys. Anyway, guys, thanks again for tuning in. Thanks again to Lloyd Kaufman and also Tiffany for co-hosting, a.k.a. Weapon X. Go to www.thehorrorquest.com if you got a horror film you want to submit. And, of course, follow us on Twitter and leave your feedback and all that stuff. So, anyway, guys, until next time, bye.